Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well with everything that's going on in the world. We are busy with holiday preparations and sending packages back to Ukraine with LED lamps and batteries and everything that will help them survive the dark, long, cold winter. So I guess we are fine. Right, Kati? Good. Катюш. 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 So I guess overall it's all good. I'm focusing on knitting and my job to not think about anything else. So that's been really helpful this last year. But I can already feel the weight of it, how tired I am, and I lost a lot of hair. I've got some gray hair coming in that I didn't have before, and I didn't expect so early. But yeah, I guess the stress is real, and we all start feeling it now. Yes, if you've been following along, I had big plans for November, and some of them worked out, some of them didn't, and overall I think everything is the way it was supposed to be. So I will start showing you the knits, and that will sort of tell the story of my November. The first up, of course, is my Volatka pullover. It is almost ready to be released, and today is December 7th or 8th, I don't remember the date, and it will be out on December 16th. And I'm really excited to show you all the test knits and all the modifications that everyone have done. I saw many versions with extra transitioning here after the pattern of the yoke, so there was an option to add another this part, another here, and that looks really nice. And yeah, I'm very excited. I'm always very excited to see the test knits, and I'm looking at them and I still feel like it could be better, but at the same time I have the feeling like, yes, but that's very me, so it's not perfect, but it still looks like it was done by me and it was meant to be that way. And I guess that's something that I've learned when working on this design. I've been wearing it a lot. It's super soft and it's really, really warm, and I guess you can see how soft it is. It's really soft. It's like, it's super squishy soft, and it's very light. My sample is less than 300 grams, and it's quite long to what I'm used to. It's quite long. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with it. Very, very happy with it. It's going to be probably my Christmas sweater. Yeah, as always, we have this little tradition that we go away for Christmas and New Year's Eve. That's usually like a small farm somewhere in Germany. Yeah, not like a tiny house somewhere that we could take Kati with us, and we could have some quiet time, because Netherlands, if you know it, Netherlands turns crazy, especially on the New Year's Eve with all the fireworks and parties. So that's something that we are not big fans of, and we try to escape that as if it's possible. Because yeah, during the COVID we couldn't do that, and I guess that was the worst. We couldn't sleep the whole night, and Gatsi was really stressed. So yeah, we will be going away before Christmas and spending quite some time in Germany on a tiny farm. So this will be my Christmas sweater. Yeah. There will be a sweet discount from Mayak Fibers for this yarn when the button goes out, so stay tuned. It is quite pricey, I know, but it also lasts long. I told it that I reknitted the yoke 3 or 4 times, and there is no signs of wear or anything. It doesn't peel. I wore this already quite a lot. There is nothing. So what I'm trying to say is that it is an investment, and if you buy the more expensive fiber, you will be wearing it for much longer. It's really light and warm, and in my experience, if I compare it to cashmere, for instance, which is also very expensive, this one, it probably has a longer life than cashmere, and it doesn't require as much care and you know, so you don't have to be that careful with it as you would do with cashmere. I'm not sure if I'm selling it correctly, but if you have a chance to try this yarn, I would highly recommend it, and not because I'm getting anything out of it, but just because I was really surprised how well it behaved in all the processes that it went through, and how nicely it fell into the color work, and how well it holds the textures. Yeah, it's a beautiful yarn. Then for my birthday on November 11th, we went to a forest. It was in the setting of a national park and a camping ground. There was like a tiny village of yurts, Mongolian, these round houses we covered with woolen blankets, and with a fire. No, it's not a fireplace, but it's like an tell me. It was my birthday gift, and we spent there 2 nights in the forest. And after that was my husband's birthday, and we were planning to go to Iceland for a week, camping in a camper van. Wonderful idea, and unfortunately I got sick, and I had to cancel my part of the trip, and my husband, he only went for like a long weekend. He brought me back some yarn, and I'm planning to knit something with it, but I don't know what yet. I'll just show you. I wanted to try Plotolopi for quite a while, and just by holding it and looking at it, I realized that it's very rough. It's similar to Nutden, but not quite, and it's much more sturdy. So I will have to think what I'll do with this, but yeah, the colors are really nice, and I wanted to try this yarn. And I know that many of you asked, oh, can I substitute Nutden for Plotolopi? And I usually said yes, but I haven't worked with it, so I can't really advise you on any of the specifics. So I will try it, and I will know what to tell you next time you ask. Yes, and while preparing for the trip, I was actually making myself a warm sweater dress. I knew that it's gonna be cold, and I knew that we will be driving around the country and like walking, hiking, and there might be rain and wind being the main concern. So I made myself a dress. It goes below my knee, and I think it's really nice. It is made in Icelandic yarn, and this is Alafoss Lobby, the bulky weight yarn, and I knitted it on 6mm US 10 needles. And it was a super quick knit. I was done with it in well, something like less than a week, considering everything with the designing. But if you just knit following the pattern, I think you could do it in 3-4 days. That's very easy. It's just simple stockinette. There is a bit of ribbing with this nice transitioning parts to the yoke. A tiny little piece of color work, very simple, minimalistic, and the same little details on the cuffs where you have this same transition with like a double band and some ribbing, and the same on the hem. There's some shaping for the hips, so it's not super slick, but you have enough room to move and you feel comfortable. And also the yoke is a little bit deeper than just a regular sweater, so it goes a little bit lower, so that you also have some room for moving and you feel more comfortable, considering that it's a dress. Yeah, very simple, very quick knit, and I thought that I will do the pattern as well, because well, why not? So we have this already in testing. I gave a bit of a longer deadline for my testers, given that it's Christmas time and everyone is knitting presents. So we will have this out in January, and I'm actually super happy with it. It's quite heavy. That's the only drawback of it being made in this yarn, but I'm sure if you use a bit of a different yarn but still bulky weight, even if it's just what do I have? I have this one, and this is from Fiber and Co or some, yeah, I don't remember how it's called, but it's their bulky weight. And I'm thinking that if I made it in something like this, it's just it's 100% wool, and I think it's a little bit lighter than the Icelandic yarn. So now it weighs something around 700 grams. And if I made it in another yarn, it could have been lighter. So if a weight is a concern for you, then just think of another yarn, like get this the bulky weight, but maybe from the combination of different yarns that wouldn't give you as much of a weight per se, but more of a volume. Yeah, so I guess it's super warm. It's quite rustic in the way that Icelandic yarns are. If you are sensitive, it is going to scratch you. But I could live with it. Also, I never wear it on a naked body, so there is some layer between. And it can also be, as you don't have to knit a dress, it can also be a nice pullover. You stop whenever you feel like, and you just continue with a hem. And yeah, I think if you try even different colors for the hem and neck, it could be a very playful, very simple pullover, maybe even unisex if your partners like it, like the round yoke fit on a more male figure. And then in the previous episode I showed you the collaboration with John Urban Textile that I was working on, and that was in their Yarnadelic worsted weight. The color was the beautiful ones, and I have a finished pullover. I have a pattern ready for testing, and I will be calling for testers any day now. So this is how the yoke looks like. it is a more fitted pullover than some of the others that I designed. The pattern has only 6 centimeters of positive ease included. It's something like 225 inches. And but the good thing is that if you just go one size up, you get a more roomy, still fitting really well in the yoke, but more room in your bust and the body and the sleeves here and the upper arm. So what I used is this worsted weight yarn from John Arbon Textile. This is the main color here, and then there are 2 sections of inlay color work, and I did use Nutiden here. Hold the strength double or maybe even triple at some points, because it's really gentle, fragile thread that I had this. The color I think is quartz. So I had to hold it maybe even 3 times at some places. And yeah, it has a bit of an A-line shape of the body, so it goes like this, and then there is a beautiful ribbing on the hem that actually reflects one of the sections in the yoke. And there's the same ribbing on the cuffs as well, and it does look really, really nice. So with the color work here, what I did on this sample, I worked it as I went. So when I have a row with color work, I would just work these floats and just keep going, so everything came in together. And then I thought of knitting myself a second sample, one in a bigger size, so this one is size 2, and now I'm knitting a sample is size 3, and in Nutiden. And what I also thought I would do, I would not knit the floats, the inlay sections. I would just knit this like simple stockinette where it was supposed to be without the floats. And I will embroider the flowers later, maybe using different colors, maybe using different yarns, different textures. So there's like a canvas for me to create and yeah, explore new things. So this is how it looks. It is one size bigger than the other one. It also, because of the yarn, it also feels a little bit different. It's more sweatery, it's more voluminous. The stitch definition is really nice here as well. And then you see I started adding flowers. This is a beautiful example. I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna do like one after another in different colors, or maybe I will add some other colors that I have. So it will be this nice field of flowers, like 1 and 2 here. And yeah, there will be a lot of room in the waist for me, but it's also kind of nice. It's going to be a big cozy sweater. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Yeah, I called it Laneus, and that's from Latin woolly. And if this one doesn't say woolly to you, then this one for sure. I asked my Patreon members to suggest me some names for this one, and all of them were associated in one or another way with winter. And yeah, I think it's the color and this flowers that remind you snowballs or all the wintry stuff. And I went with something more neutral, not so much connected to winter, because I wanted to highlight this the flowers, and they are really woolen here, really woven into the fabric. So you see, if you skip the floats when you knit the yoke, it will just look like this. just plain stockinette, but there is some definition of the section where the flowers have to go, like here. You see where they have to go. You just have to mark, like here I did. You just have to mark the round in which you have to start threading or embroidering the flowers. So it is going to be a very creative project, and I hope you really like it, because this is, yeah, this is an epitome for me of creativity, and it's like an endless canvas for you to try different things. And that's also very exciting for me to see what you do actually, and to get inspired from you, inspire you and you inspire me. Yeah. So this will be my Christmas knitting, I guess. There's quite some a body left to knit and the 2 sleeves, and working with Nutiden is always a bit tricky. I'm holding it together with some silk mohair, but it's very fragile, and it takes longer than if you just knit with a regular spun yarn. So I have to work on this a little bit longer than I would normally do, but it's lovely. My hands are covered with lanolin, and yeah, I'm enjoying it very much. I hope you enjoyed everything that I showed you. This creative mess that that I have here. I hope that you have a wonderful holiday season. I hope that your homes are peaceful, that all your loved ones are healthy and happy. Thank you for your support this year, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.